Okay, so take a second, read through the word problem, and we can start right off the facts. Suppose that the older eaglet has a 50% chance of survival. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to say the probability that my older eaglet survives is 0.50. So O represents the event that the older eagle survives. The probability of him surviving, 0.50. Now right here, the second fact that we're given, the second number, if the older eaglet survives, the younger eaglet has a 10% chance of survival. So let's let Y represent the chance of the younger eaglet surviving. And we're told that the probability of the younger eaglet surviving, given that the older eaglet has survived, is 0.10. So we got a conditional probability there. Before we even go on, we can get ourselves an extra fact here. Use the conditional probability formula. The probability of Y intersect O divided by the probability of O equals 0.10. So this right here means the probability of the younger and the older eaglet surviving. We have this number. That's 0.5. So to get the probability of the younger and the older by itself, we're going to multiply both sides by 0.5. And when we do that, you get the probability of the young and the older is 0.05. So maybe that fact would come in handy down the road. But one last fact we haven't dealt with is this 30% fact right here. It says if the older eaglet does not survive, so O complement, the younger eaglet has a 30% chance of survival. Okay, so if the young eagle has a 30% chance of survival if the O event does not happen, so the O complement, or sometimes it's an apostrophe. That probability was 0.30. So, again, using the conditional formula, the probability of Y intersect O naught divided by the probability of O naught equals 0.30. This is actually a number we have. The probability of O is 0.5. The probability of everything but O must therefore be 0.5 because those two always have to add up. Two complementary events have to add up to 100% because they're the opposites of each other. So we got 0.5 here, and again, to get this probability by itself, just multiply both sides by 0.5. So we got the probability of the young and the old not surviving is 0.15. Okay, and again, the translation here is the probability that the young survives and the older does not survive. So let's take those three things. This one here, the red conclusion and the black conclusion, let's put them in a Venn diagram. So let this be the older eaglet surviving. We'll let red be the younger eaglet surviving. So the intersection here represents the probability of both of them surviving. And we found out that that's 0.5. Sorry, I meant 0.05 was the probability of both of them. So that fact's drawn on our graph. The probability of O, the probability of the older eaglet surviving, is 0.50. 0.05 is here. That leaves us with 0.45 over here. Now the probability of just the younger eaglet surviving is the last thing we should fill in. So we've used this fact that's drawn on there. That fact is drawn on there. Let's try to take a look at this one. This is the probability that Y intersects O naught. Okay, O naught means everything outside of the O circle. So a little bit of this red portion, not here because that's part of the O circle, but this is O naught and this is O naught. Where does that intersect Y? This is the only place where those two events intersect, where they are at the same place. So that probability is 0.15. Okay, now let's go back and answer the question. Now we got a Venn diagram. Which of the following tables shows the probability distribution of X? And where they tell you that X is the number of eaglets that survive. Let's start with 0. The probability that none of the eaglets survive. This all represents one or the other or both surviving. Okay, 0.45 times 0.05 is 0.5. 0.5 times 0.15 gives us 0.65. So 0.65 is in here, and it means we have 0.35 for X equals 0. Okay, so That's for x equals 0. And actually, process of elimination, you've got your answer right here for multiple choice. Okay? It's got to be C. Because if you go through the other options, the probability of just one surviving means this one plus this one. That's the only two options where either the older or the younger, not both, survives. The probability of x equaling 2, both surviving, is 0.05. So correct answer is C.